These are the pages from a diary written in the back of a maths workbook. The previous owner had retrieved it from their mother's possessions upon her death, where they entrusted it to me. It is unsure if the mother was the writer of this diary, as no name is mentioned and the cover has long been lost to time. This would become the first in my now extensive archive. May 8, 1991. They left me. Becca, Andrew and Sarah all fucking left me here. They've left basically everything here, including me, and driven off while I was having a pee in the bushes. I had to go far away because I didn't want them to hear me. I've been sitting here for 6 hours and I'm not sure they're coming back. Just because they turned 16 before me doesn't mean they can treat me like this. It's not even funny, they're supposed to be my friends. What do I do if they don't come back tonight? Camp? On my own? Like building the tent and everything? God, they had better come back. I'm still just in shock that they could do this to me. It's so mean and unfair, and they're supposed to be my friends. Weirdest part is I don't even remember hearing Andrew's noisy car driving off. God, he really needs to get a better car. It's getting late right now, so I have to figure out where I'm going to sleep tonight, because I'm guessing they are going to leave me for the night just to mess with me. June 8, 1991. Last night was awful. I didn't sleep. It was cold, it was wet, I slept on the ground with all the bugs and dirt just because the stupid tent is so complicated. I heard a dreadful scream too, and I know it's probably foxes, but it's still so creepy. Also, how do people in movies just make fire like that? I used all the matches and still couldn't light the pile of sticks I made at all. I found the sparky stick with the metal part, but I don't know what to do with it. I bashed the two together for a solid hour and only got a couple of stray sparks. I'm now currently wearing all the jumpers I caught with me underneath my coat. I ate some of the jerky and crisps we had, but I'm going to need to get into the canned food, and I don't even know how to open it, so that will be a problem when I come to it. I don't need to worry about things that aren't affecting me for now. When the hell are they going to pick me up? This is so mean of them. I don't know how long they think they can keep this going, but Mum knows I left with all of them. I'll be missed if they don't pick me up, and they will be in so much trouble. I'm going to try to make fire again. July 8, 1991. The dear woman visited me last night. She was really nice and helped teach me a few things. I was pretty scared when I saw her, but then she was really nice and her voice was so calm I didn't even notice she was completely naked. When I saw dear woman, I realized just how pretty she is, no shampoo, no conditioner, not even a hint of hairspray, and her hair was perfect, like Julia Roberts. She wanted me to call her dear woman. Even when I asked her for her name, she just kept saying dear woman, but I think Julie fits her so much better. She was so smart though. She knew all about starting fires, finding berries, and she was so good at showing me how the tent happens. She even taught me how to wash my hair out here in the woods like she does. I'm going to look so good when I'm back. Becca is going to have a fit. The only thing she didn't know much about was how to open the cans. I will probably tackle that problem myself later today. When Julie dear woman left, she told me I shouldn't stay in this area because a dangerous cat that's going to be coming through soon. I told her I'm sure my friends will pick me up before that cat can get here. This camping thing isn't so bad when you have a warm fire and a warm tent and warm food. I don't remember having it before, dear woman, but I even have a warm knitted blanket now. Ugh, I bet Becca is just laughing at me now with everyone. Becca is such a bitch. Joke's on her, I guess. Because of dear woman, I'm actually kinda having a nice time. I'm beginning to appreciate the quiet time out here in the woods, like I'm becoming one with nature itself. Also, I feel bad for writing so many swears in my diary yesterday, but I feel like scribbling them out would only betray the genuine emotions I had at that point in time. August 8, 1991. There is a thick fog all around me. I'm so glad that I got carried away while getting wood for the fire, because I don't want to go far from the safety of my camp right now. There has been a sinister chittering coming from the fog and I don't like it at all. For a minute I thought that I heard the rumbling of Andrew's ancient Ford groaning its way through the forest. No one came out of the fog, so I decided to just stay in my tent. I even heard the thumping of dear woman's hooves coming close to the tent, but something about it felt wrong. Instead of the comforting glow I felt from her before, I now felt a cold dread. I might have believed it was Dear Woman if she hadn't already told me she was heading as far from here as she could. I'm glad I didn't leave the tent and just hid under my blanket. Earlier, when the weather began to clear, I could have sworn I saw a slender silhouette in the distance. It was sliding its way between trees and heading away from me, so I couldn't get a good look, even though the fog was getting lighter. I didn't think they would get me today. Becca and the others are probably going to make this stretch out until Sunday when I'm expected at home. I wish they would come back sooner, but I doubt it at this point. I have enough wood until tomorrow and the fog has mostly cleared up. Not sure what to do for the next few hours of daylight. September 8, 1991. Last night I met the chittering creatures. They sort of look like badgers, but all black and walking on their hind legs. Maybe a little more shorter than a badger would be on its hind legs, but I think that's the best description. They were just rummaging around my camp late last night, with a couple of them just enjoying the warmth of the fire. When they noticed me watching, they were skittish until I offered them the last of the jerky. These little things loved the jerky. I think they were still hungry, and unfortunately they were just as confused as I am when presented with a can of beans and no can opener. I think I'll name them chitters, after the noise they make. The chitters have a lot of personality and each one seems to have their own unique quirks. My favorite one being a chitter I've named Munch, because he has a habit of sneaking behind the others to playfully bite their butts before running off immediately. I couldn't stay awake after a while, and seeing the creatures beginning to settle in front of the fire, I decided it was time to go to bed. When I woke up this morning, my new friends had left, but they had left cute stick sculptures strung up around my camp. I think it's pretty, and maybe a thank you from my friends for giving them a nice place to rest and a little snack. They've collected so much firewood as well, so I'm not going to have to worry for the next few days. I'm so lucky to have made such kind friends, even if only briefly. It's evening now, and I think I've finally managed to stab into a can of beef stew, but it's hard to eat with all the noise coming from down the hill. I think it's those foxes again, but I might be wrong, because I swear to God for just a second I saw the face of an old woman deep in the forest earlier. Fuck Becca, but I'm too tired to hate her right now. This has been a lot. October 8, 1991. She's dead. Dear Woman is dead. Her head was left just outside the edge of the camp this morning. She was so nice, I can't even believe something would do this to her. Last night I saw something. It must have been when her head was left, but it was too dark to see the head there. It was lit up by the faint light of my fire. I saw a large cat. Its fur was jet black and moved with an otherworldly glide. The worst part is I thought its face was familiar. I don't know how, but I think it was the face of the old woman I saw the other day. This is getting fucked up, but something is telling me to stay put. There is this instinct to not leave the comfort of this nest I've made for myself, so I think for now I won't. I'm going to dig a grave for Dear Woman's head. It'll be a lot of digging considering her antlers, but she's worth the effort. I have enough wood, I have enough food, and I'm sure they will come back to me tomorrow. If not, then I'm sure I will see my mom soon enough, because when I don't turn up tomorrow she is going to be here in a flash. November 8, 1991. The fire is still going, but I'm afraid I'm going to have to abandon it soon. I can hear Andrew's old Ford and Becca's voice out in the distance. I think they've forgotten where they left me, but I'm sure if I just head down the hill where they are, I can lead them back to pick all the stuff up and I can get out of here. The fog is really thick again, but I have to at least try. My food supply won't last much longer and I just want to be home.